So, welcome to Brand4BETTER. So here we don't look for absolute, but we look just for nuances. So,
Okay.
Kristin, thank you so much for being here. You are the VPP Global Client President, but I would like to speak with you as IAA
Sure.
Global. So we will play these better nuance games together. So just a couple of question chat to maybe uncover your brand's shades of better, maybe
Sure.
some suggestion, but also passion, dreams, and choices. So quite everything. So
Okay.
you're ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Okay, so let's start with ice break.
Okay.
So ice break. So simple question. What do you actually do? But no job title.
No job title. Okay. Do you know mycelium, the fungi in the forest? I kind of figured my job as being a little bit like that, right? I hear client complaints, client problems. I turn those into marketing problems. And then I try to connect the 10,000 people and multiple agencies that WPP has to create a solution for the clients that is better than anyone could do individually. So it's like turning all the individual trees into a living, thriving ecosystem.
So very human-based.
Very human based, yeah, absolutely. And really trying to understand what it is the client needs, what's the question behind the question, and then what is the best combination of people and agencies to solve the problem. Yeah.
And outside of your work, some hobbies, habits, ritual that helps you.
Let's see. I collect way too many New Yorkers that I can never get through, but I can't throw away. I see a lot of theatre, and I'm a horse rider. I'm really good at those bucking bronco things you find in a bar. Yeah.
And one fun fact about you that isn't on Google or.
Oh, there we are. I used to ride in the New Zealand under-21 equestrian team.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Excellent. So let's start to dive a little bit
Yep.
in our main topic. What is your idea of a better life? Maybe even starting from you.
A better life. I mean, I think for me, it's around curiosity and growth and the ability to be always trying something new and learning something new, right? I think I'm okay with a certain level of uncomfortableness. I mean, for me, better doesn't have to mean happier or more contented. A little bit of friction is how you grow, right? A little bit of friction is how you try something new. So that's what better means to me, in the sense of opportunity and a bit of a rub so that you learn.
So also the
Yeah.
pleasure to discover something,
Exactly.
explore.
Exactly. And I think being okay with being uncomfortable, I think that's really important, you know. On a personal note, I would like to have 25-year-old knees again because I'm
Me too,
I'm
me
a
too.
skier and I managed to blow out both my knees quite a few times, so that would be great. Better knees, please.
Okay, amazing stuff. So let's ground with this word better and talk
Yeah.
about the elephant in the room.
Okay.
So, what does better mean for your brand, from a brand point of view?
Yeah. So talking about the IAA, because I'm representing both, I guess, WPP and the IAA at the moment. In terms of the IAA, what I love about this organization, and Dagmara spoke about it recently, was the democratizing of learning. And I think that's what looks better to me. You know, it's a creativity conference this week. It's a B2B conference in a couple of weeks. We've got the rising young professionals, rising stars. It's a huge opportunity to really connect what's happening in Africa, Middle East, Asia, in all spectrums of the marketing ecosystem, to share that learning. And I think, you know, going to see Fernando yesterday, it was, I mean, I've seen his presentations at Cannes before. I've obviously familiar with his work at Burger King and Dove, and it was just fascinating hearing behind the scenes and what's going on with it all. And that is a true democratization of the learning, getting the information out there. So for me, that's better. Not seeing the polished end result at Cannes, but learning how someone got there. That's the better bit.
Yeah, and there is also another word that we care a lot here is the concept of nuance. So that maybe the little details but important difference that we have. And I may say that maybe the better you explain, it's also have the chance to see and watch all these difference, and maybe the chance to collect all together or create link to the different way we do things, we think things. So a big networking in a matter of saying. Okay.
And you know, like, it was the interesting sort of you know, Pietro in the morning talking about detail and precision and the importance of word choice, and then you've got Fernando talking about big risks, big cultural movements, being very brave. And I think, you know, those are both ways to get to creativity and ways to get to difference, and understanding those two in intention as well as in collaboration, the detail and the big ideas. It was fascinating yesterday.
Okay, so let's go with try to finish this sentence. So a marketing idea is better when
Marketing idea is better when you're tricking me on this question. I wasn't ready for this one. I think a marketing idea is better when it's a little scary when you first hear it, right? When it truly is something unique and you don't quite understand it, that you need to question it, you're not sure if it's going to work. Because if you understand it immediately and you think, oh, that's it, it's probably not very unique, not very special.
maybe you need to explore a little bit so to have the chance to discover better.
Exactly.
Okay. And so let's go to another break that is fly high. Let's see how big we can dream together.
Okay.
So if you have unlimited budget, so the dream of everyone that play in this industry, what project you start tomorrow for your brand?
Okay, now I do need to make my notes.
Because it's important, so we always have notes to.
I did think about that one. Okay, there we are. The big fly high. Okay, all right. Interestingly, from my notes, I took this two ways when I read it. I think I read the translated version. So I had a work answer, which is around. And I'm actually not the creative. I am the strategic person, I guess. I'm the business problem solver. So I was looking at it from the need to connect customer sentiment into media activation and marketing activation. You know, this is something that I think is still very siloed, right? In terms of the opportunity we have now with AI to connect all of that structured and unstructured data together, deliver the synthesis, and then actually have that play out in marketing and media. That is the huge opportunity.
That and it's also a very nice dream, because it's a dream of better understanding
exactly
each other.
And that's where the nuance is, right? You know, I think that's the really interesting part. And I think too, in this kind of polarized world, and that's what we're here to talk about, that sort of nuance. If all you're hearing is the rage that is coming out on social media, that's a really vocal minority, right? But if you're not canvassing all of the kind of customer sentiments, what people are saying on call logs, on CRM, on social media, if you're not looking at that in totality, you're just looking at the loudest voice, not the more volume of it all, I guess.
So what is it? So you think that this is also the project that every brand should do, or every brand should so try to do, so better understand the public using also technology? Or you think as a starting point we can start from something maybe more simple?
Well, not necessarily simple. I mean, in an ideal world, I wish all brands took a stronger commitment, I guess, to their impact on the world, whether that is education or environmental damage or human rights or, you know, whatever the case is. I think, you know, and it doesn't have to always be a a left-leaning point of view, but I think understanding brand's impact is really important, and I wish brands took more care to consider what that impact was and what they were going to do about it. In terms of what I think brands should be doing, I don't want to hear one more conversation. Let me rephrase that. It's disappointing to me to hear about AI spoken about in terms of efficiency and productivity. I think if that's your aspiration for AI, if that's as far as you can think already, you've already missed the boat, right? This idea that AI is a pastiche of human thinking is already wrong and outdated, right? AI is actually thinking, and the potential to push human beings into spaces and thoughts that they have never had before is fascinating. And so the human AI collaboration, if you can see it in that way and create your tools for that, is way more interesting than I can do the job faster or I can write the email for you, right?
One concept that so a copywriter and a creative director share with me is that maybe the brand get used to, in a certain way, co-create with the public because they have to chat with the public. But we, as a creative person or professionals about that, we are not used to co-create with something or with someone, and maybe we have to get used to co-create with the AI. So we can be better. Help it with the technology, not just use the technology as
Absolutely, yeah. And there's this idea that somehow humans have unlimited creativity and AI is just regurgitating. But we know that's not true, right? Humans fall into their own patterns. That's why we recognize a particular style or a particular way of doing things. Our brains are the same habit-forming, pattern-forming kind of thing as robots. So if we can have robots pushing us in a new direction, and then we can bring a little bit of empathy or lived experience, because what AI doesn't have is lived experience. You know, it doesn't have embodiment, right? So if we can have the AI pushing our minds into areas we never would have gone, and then we bring that lived experience and that embodiment to it, that's where I think the magic can happen. Not
so maybe
not speed writing emails.
So maybe AI can push us to discover more and to explore more. Okay, so let's go to explain better. So better is a important word, and word matter for everyone, but so the public, the people we share the word sometimes, or maybe every time, are the key factors. So if you have to explain the word, the concept of better to maybe to a child, what would you say?
I think it's a little bit what I said in the beginning, right? Better is not moving from a B grade to an A grade. Better is saying, did you learn something new? Even if it was kind of a crappy thing to have to learn, right? Did you have a new experience? Did something change today for you, right? That's how I would describe better to a child, in terms of, is it new? Is it more of an experience? Where's your curiosity, right? Do you have some questions to ask about what you did today, as opposed to it all feeling the same as yesterday?
And so, and if I told you now change, we go to some CEO, maybe a skeptical CEO, you will explain using the same word?
No. Then I think it's about without creativity and without pushing the envelope and without always asking what is better, then it becomes a race to the bottom. Then it becomes, particularly in an algorithmic AI-driven world, we can all kind of reduce to the mean, right? And we can all become the same. So differentiation is how we're going to win. We can't differentiate without trying new things, sometimes failing, but hopefully getting better.
Amazing. So let's go with the better choice, because we know that life has made of choice. Maybe I know that some of your answer I can imagine, but purpose or profit?
See, I don't like that question, right? Because purpose will never win, right? Because unfortunately, money underpins our entire system. But if we can have a purpose that is delivering profit, if we can have a purpose that is grounded in the commercial reality, then we can have both, right? We can have purpose and profit, right?
Okay, and creativity or strategy?
See, I would always say creativity. However, sadly, I am the strategy person.
Okay.
But, you know, someone has to commercialize it, right? Okay. So I wish I was the creative. If I had to choose one, I'd choose creativity, but that's not me. I'm strategy.
Okay, and so awards or business impact?
Business impact, because as long as it's shared, right? When you come to an award ceremony, only a couple of people get to go up on that stage. And it's probably not the people who really brought the idea to life, right? If you have business impact and you share that profit with your team, it's a more equal distribution. So I think business impact, because it's more equitable, it can be more equitable,
but
if that's how the organization chooses to play it. But awards are never equitable, you know. Can is expensive.
We take notes about this. But, so we're closing. So thank you so much for your time. But let's talk a little bit about a better future.
Okay.
So at Videns, that is our podcast, we believe that those who learn inherit the future. So what must we learn today to be better in the future, or maybe also to create a better tomorrow?
What must we learn?
Yeah.
I think we need to relearn a veneration for expertise and rationality and empathy. I mean, I think, you know, we talked a little bit about the polarization in this conference and things. The having a concrete position and being unwilling to flex, we need to relearn that. We need to relearn the compromise and the flexibility and to find the nuance.
Thanks. Thanks so much, Kristin.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay.
There was one question you had about the ones at the end, which was
I don't share with you all the